Straight ahead on WBKB, President Biden makes a stop in Michigan today.
Plus, we have reaction to the president's visit, and one county jail gets high marks.
You're watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 6 starts now.
This is WBKB News at 6. An in-depth look at news, weather, and sports. From hard-hitting news stories to local events, we're there with coverage you can count on. You're watching WBKB News at 6.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Tyler Cruz.
And I'm Sherry Stewart. President Biden made his second trip to Michigan today, visiting Dearborn to talk about job creation and climate change.
Yes, Sherry, the president was at the plant where Ford will unveil the electric version of its F-150 truck, and electric vehicles are a major part of Biden's plan to fight climate change. Deborah Alpena has more from the White House.
Welcome. Thank you.
We're at an inflection point in America. You guys are the ones that are going to save it, for real.
President Biden toured Ford's Electric Vehicle Center in Dearborn, Michigan Tuesday.
We now are number 8, and China's number 1. Can't let that be sustained.
The president wants the U.S. to lead in electric vehicle manufacturing, and Ford's soon-to-be-revealed electric F-150 could help lead the charge.
The most popular vehicle in American history is going electric and digital, and it's awesome.
President Biden's American Jobs Plan calls for $2.3 trillion in infrastructure spending. That includes electric car incentives, 500,000 charging stations, and more union jobs.
An American Jobs Plan is a blue-collar blueprint to rebuild America.
Selling the president's jobs plan is a tougher sell here in Washington, where Republicans say the price tag is too steep.
GOP leaders oppose hiking corporate taxes to offset the cost and are looking for a much trimmer infrastructure deal.
I've asked Senator Capito to be our leader on that, and she's produced a bill of around $600 billion that she thinks makes sense.
The president says he expects a counter proposal Tuesday or Wednesday. Deborah Alpena, CBS News, the White House.
Supporters of the president's American Job Plan say it's a good deal for Michigan. They say investments in the clean transportation and energy sectors, as outlined in the proposal, will keep Michigan in its role as a manufacturing powerhouse.
Residents that are employed in the clean transportation economy, and that's really just the beginning. Michigan is the home of automotive innovation, and there's so many opportunities to continue investing in our Michigan know-how to really lead the transition.
Environmentalists who support the move toward clean energy say it's good for the nation's economy as well as our health. Opponents of the president's plan disagree. Republican Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel issued a statement Tuesday saying Joe Biden and Gretchen Whitmer are too busy working on a plan that will be a wrecking ball to Michigan's economy. She goes on to say instead of destroying good-paying union jobs, decimating Detroit's world-class auto industry, and creating a fuel crisis, Whitmer and Biden should pay attention to the crumbling roads around them.
Here's meteorologist Ellie Morrison with a first check of the weather. Ellie, I could do this weather every day.
Tyler, the warmth is going to be sticking around for most of the week. Currently, we are seeing sunny skies all throughout the area. 76 degrees in Alpena, a little cooler by the shoreline in Oscoda at 72 degrees. It's 76 in Rogers City and 82 degrees well away from the shoreline in Gaylord. Future radar here going to show us that we're staying dry through this evening. We'll have some cloud cover building in, and then tomorrow morning, some showers are going to move in from the southwest. So we are going to wake up to some raindrops around the area tomorrow morning. A lot of that should dissipate by the time we get towards the second half of the day. Temperatures later this evening will be heading into the 50s. Early morning lows around the lower 50s. Morning temperatures pretty quickly rising into the 60s, and then we'll be heading up to afternoon highs tomorrow in the lower 70s. It's going to get warmer and more humid beyond that. I'll let you know when we could possibly be talking about temperatures near 80 coming up later in the newscast.
Wow, 80.
Yeah, nice.
Thanks for that, Ellie. We'll check back in with you in a bit. Well, pretty soon you can enjoy a drink from your favorite restaurant or bar outside of the restaurant and in downtown Alpena's new social district. Alpena City Council members voted unanimously to create a social district in downtown Alpena on Monday. In a social district, people can purchase alcohol at a restaurant or bar and take it outside and into the district to enjoy.
And they can consume that open container of alcohol in a public space, so whether it be Culligan Plaza or on the sidewalks.
Michigan lawmakers created a bill last summer that allows local governments to create social districts in an effort to increase restaurant sales during the pandemic.
Our outdoor dining is so popular in the summer, so we're really just thinking that this is going to be another great draw for tourists and locals to have just another reason to come downtown, listen to live music, have a glass of wine, really enjoy the ambiance.
While there are still some steps remaining, Gentry says the district will be operating by the time summer is in full swing.
So we're hoping, by mid to end June, definitely for the most popular parts of the summer to have this in place.
Gentry says she thinks other businesses could be inclined to apply for a liquor license or to move downtown to join the fun. And the local bars and restaurants are all supportive.
Yeah, and that's what I've seen in other downtowns that have implemented that, is more bars and restaurants wanting to locate there or participate because it does allow for extra sales. So feedback I've gotten so far from people that currently own a liquor license have all wanted to participate.
Even though City Council passed this yesterday, the state still needs to approve the district and grant permits to each participating restaurant.
It looks like fun.
Yeah, definitely bring some people to the area, especially in the summer.
For sure, for sure. In other news, the Alpena County Jail received an A+ on their recent inspection. An inspection of the jail is conducted annually to ensure that the facility is complying with rules and regulations. Because of COVID, they didn't have an inspection in 2020. Instead, inspectors made sure they were taking proper COVID precautions. Alpena County Sheriff Scott Stevenson says the inspectors' comments for 2021 were favorable.
Commented that we were very clean and for an older jail, which we are, we were built in 1962, we're in fairly good shape for a jail of that age. They noted that our paperwork and documentation was very well kept.
Stevenson says there are many challenges to maintaining a jail.
First is it costs a lot of money to house prisoners. Secondly, the liability associated with it. They're in our care and custody, and everything that they do and everything that happens here is our responsibility.
Stevenson was confident they would pass the inspection. He says many of their upgrades, including their video conferencing that inmates use to communicate with family, helped. Stevenson's added that coincidentally, the good news came during Corrections Officer Week.
Wasn't that timely?
I'm telling you, very nice. Well, recently, Alpena Animal Control rescued 42 pets from a single residence in a large-scale animal neglect case.
With May being Mental Health Awareness Month, we wanted to take a deeper look at the root of these situations. There can be several reasons why a person may hoard animals, and during Mental Health Awareness Month, we want to show that both the owners and the pets are suffering. One of the underlying causes, like the most recent case in Alpena, is hoarding as a coping mechanism for traumatic events in the past.
There is some type of a stressor, some type of a trauma that causes them to hoard animals. So that's their brain's coping mechanism.
According to clinical psychologist Dr. Sabrina Romanoff, the act of rescuing animals can help overcome and cope with trauma, especially from childhood.
And a lot of these people have had early childhood experiences that they wished to be saved from, whether it was neglect or mistreatment or exploitation. So in this sense, their relationship with the animals, it corrects for that.
Dr. Romanoff says the compulsion to overcollect animals is driven by this savior complex. There is also a sense of delusion or denial that they are the only ones that can properly care for the animals they've rescued.
And they'll have an intense love for them and believe that no one else could or would take care of them.
Hoarding animals offers a short-term solution to these people as they are able to correct some of their emotions from the past. That's why, in most cases, it takes an outsider's attention to recognize the problem. In the end, the neglect that people have experienced can be reflected onto the animals.
So basically, the need to be the savior or the defender of the vulnerable gets in the way of accurately recognizing their capacity to meet the needs of these animals, and they become what they're trying to protect against.
You can find more information on these large-scale neglect cases on WBKB11.com. And those pictures were all from past cases, not the most recent one. There's more news ahead for you here on WBKB.
Yeah, well, coming up, we will have a look at your pets of the week, and meteorologist Ellie Morrison will have your 7-day forecast.
This photo was sent in by Paula Van Wagnen. This is her tart cherry tree in full bloom. The recent warm weather and sunshine has been bringing the blooms on many trees throughout the area. Thank you, Paula, for sending us this photo. And if you have a photo such as nature shots, pics with friends, or interesting sights you see that you'd like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@WBKB11.com.
Have you ever seen like a group of cherry trees in full bloom?
Yes, they are
sight.
Beautiful. Yeah, very nice.
Coming up on WBKB News, more kids are going to virtual doctor's visits, and Jake Vanderbrook will have the latest in sports. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. More kids are seeing doctors virtually and the COVID risks to patients with sleep apnea. Elise Preston takes a look at some of the day's top health stories.
The more severe a patient's obstructive sleep apnea is, the greater their risk of contracting COVID-19. That's according to a new study by Kaiser Permanente. Researchers found patients who used a CPAP machine at least 2 hours every night to keep their airway open were less likely to contract COVID compared to sleep apnea patients who did not use a CPAP. A survey of nearly 500 U.S. ICU nurses who worked through the pandemic finds 29% were reassigned into COVID units and 68% experienced a shortage of personal protective equipment. Researchers from Marquette University also found 44% reported symptoms of moderate to severe depression, 31% experienced anxiety, and 47% were at risk for having PTSD. And a new national poll finds 1 in 5 parents say their child had a virtual health visit over the past year, and most were satisfied with their experience. The study by researchers from the University of Michigan found some parents are still hesitant about telemedicine, especially lower-income parents worried about technology issues. Those are some of today's top health stories. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Well, Sherry, the sun is shining, the weather's beautiful, and it's Pets of the Week.
There you go.
Today's pets are Romy, Fern, Kenzo, and Chanel.
Our first pet today is Romy. She's 10 months old and a real bundle of silliness. She likes to roll around in new places and really loves watching animals outdoors. Romy would do best in a house with good airflow and plenty of windows. Next, we have Fern. She's about a year old and possibly pregnant. Fern's a cuddler, but not when you're holding a big, intimidating camera, so today she just wanted to nap. Now say hello to Kenzo. We first met her at the end of March, where she was warming up to people. Now she's a cat who knows what she wants, and what she wants is a lot of personal space. Kenzo likes climbing to high places and resting there all afternoon. I'd recommend more than one visit with her so that you two can build up trust. Kenzo would do best with an owner who respects her boundaries and gives her some good climbing spots. Finally, meet Chanel, another cat we saw in March. She's shy, but will enjoy scratches from people she trusts. You can tell she didn't quite trust me today when I was holding the camera. However, I can confirm that her favorite scratching spot is still above the base of her tail. You can learn more about adoption by following the link to the Humane Society on our website, WBKB11.com.
Some cats just find the craziest
They
climbing
do.
spots, hiding spots.
They do.
Sports is coming up next, but first, Jake Vanderbrook is in with a preview. Jake, what's going on tonight?
Hey, Tyler. So Red Wings general manager Steve Yzerman is putting all of his eggs in one basket, and we're going to tell you why. And a beautiful day for golf as the Alpena Wildcats competed in the Alpena Invitational at the
Have for you this evening.
You can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on other news items online.
Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night.
And check us out on our Facebook page and Twitter handle at WBKB11.
Be sure to catch us back here tonight at 11 with Stephanie Manici. Have a great evening.